I'd be panicking, right? And so and another thing too, that's why I believe that Seraphin, that's why I believe Seraphin Long, when she was telling her story about how she got abducted, because she said that this 7 foot tall, that she referred to him as a wild man, right? And he grabbed her and he threw her over her shoulder and he started running. And as he was running, she said, I was scared, but I couldn't help but notice how his breathing was fine. He wasn't even winded.
Yeah, no.
And so I thought to myself, if you need I don't think I'm ever gonna get picked up by a 7 foot wild man, but if you two ever got picked up by a 7 foot Yeti thrown over your shoulder running into the woods, are you gonna say like, wow, this guy's really in good shape, like he's not even breaking a wind here when he's running, right? I thought to myself, like,
I mean, we might be like, honey, how come you didn't carry me that easy?
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, so exactly, right? So I just thought to myself, like, man, that is such a specific. Yeah. And Joe Barger drops like 3 or 4 things in there. He's like that, and I was like, yo, man, he was there, right? And I totally believe him, right? I do. So.
That's funny. Yeah. I remember what potato chips I was eating on the 4th of July, right, with my mouth full when I was filming it. I remember specifically that detail.
Yeah, right.
And so a potato chip.
Yeah, right. And so and when you hear people tell stories, right? And another thing too, when I started this channel, I made because of what I had to deal with for so long, and just because to be a nice person, it's like no matter who I talk to or what, it's gonna be judgment free. I'm not gonna say like, hey man, that's like, that's no way that happened. Yeah. I'm like, okay, sure, I'm sorry that happened to you. That's his thing.
Right. Yeah.
But you guys as researchers too, when you look at people and when they start having glaring gaps, right? And then you're like, all right, man, come on, man. Like, that's a pretty big, like a hole. Like, it's like, I was sitting in my room, I looked up and he was at the foot of my bed. Okay. Right. What time was it? What was it? That's the type of question they'll ask you. What did it look like? What did it look like? Oh, and they'll describe a gray. Oh, he was tall and gray, right? And like, okay. You start thinking to myself, like, man, that's awful vanilla, man. That's awful this. That's awful that. Sleep paralysis is another thing too, right? Like if you ever had an experience with that terrifying moment, sleep paralysis, right? Anybody that's ever been through sleep paralysis, you know what that stuff is like, right? And so like. Yeah. Sleep problem. My teeth were grinding. I was freezing. I couldn't move, and he was there. He was over my bed, right? I was there, right? And you very rarely hear anybody say that I sat up and there was something at the end of my bed and I had full range of motion and I was looking around for the light. That doesn't happen like that. Normally you're like you can't move. Like they nuke you, right? And you can't move, and that's it. But anyways, I'm keeping you guys here way too long. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna wrap this up here. So.
Yeah, this has been so great. And I just want to, thank you so much for having us. This has been so great. I love you. I love your personality. I love what you're doing here. And just a shout out to other women. We are truly underrepresented in this community, in these fields. So please keep inviting women on your show and, showcasing that we have a voice too. And I commend you for, reaching out to us and reaching out to, the other women that you have, because a lot of men who have podcasts just like they never invite other women on. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
No problem. I'm glad to hear it. All the guys keep telling me no. So I'm joking. I'm joking. No, that's great to have you. It's great to. I'm glad you guys. Thanks for coming on. I probably kept you here a little bit late, but so yeah, I'm so happy that you guys are here. I'm gonna have you back, right? So.
Yeah, definitely. We can share so much fun. We have you on our show as well. We would love to have you join us.
Anytime if I can return the favor. Before we go, tell everybody where they can find you. I'm gonna put.
Go ahead, Chris.
During the podcast, I'm gonna have your stuff up here as well, man.
Yeah. You can just find me mostly on Twitter. Where you can find the podcast on the. I always get this wrong because we had to use it. It's the Elephant in the Room 411, I believe. But it's the Elephant in the Room podcast. And you can find us on Twitter. I'm under at Chris Devine, and it's KRYSDEVINE, or Awake While Sleeping. You can find me under that name as well. Ariel?
And then, I'm mostly over on Twitter as well. My username is AES Skywatcher, and the name is Ariel Elizabeth. That is my first and middle name. I do not put my last name out there to avoid stalkers.
Stalkers. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. When I
And
first
you
saw
don't put your address like I did the other day.
Oh gosh.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw your name, I'm like A.S. Skywalker. I'm like, was she Skywalker? Like, oh, it's Skywatcher. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I think the same thing.
Oh, you guys are great. So, hey, if you stuck around this long, nerds, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. Go out and give these lovely ladies a follow on their YouTube channel, on their Instagram. They're already dominating Twitter. They're gonna make. I'm not gonna lie. I got 35 followers on Twitter, right? On X, right? These girls,
We're gonna help you grow that.
They got more.
Yeah.
They got a
Come
lot
follow
more.
you have no Twitter.
So come follow them on
come
Twitter.
follow you on Twitter, and yeah,
Instagram.
we'll boost you on there.
Actually, so go give you guys a follow. Look at the channel. The podcast is great. I caught the full episode last night. I had to refrain. I didn't want to dominate the text over there. But you guys are great. Thank you. All right.
Thank you so much.
See you next time. We're out, losers.
Cheers.
Boom.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.